Oh, hey, I'm live again. Same place, different outfit, different day. Um, I'm noticing same stuff that's still on the carpet. I have to vacuum. Uh, so yeah, I'm gonna keep this way. Yesterday's video was 20 minutes long, and that's ridiculous. So I'm gonna really try to keep this short. But I'm feeling emotional today, and it got me thinking. Um, Yesterday's video and just a lot of my online presence and my online this stuff on my shirt. A lot of my online presence I find tends to elicit people comforting me, which is interesting. Uh, yeah, I'm usually sharing online out of an abundance of some kind of feeling, and I've noticed in my life, throughout my life, a real kind of push to distrust emotions, to see strong emotions as suspect, suspicious, and something to not to trust. But I'm actually, and this is not to say stop comforting me, because I'm at a place where someone genuinely wanting wanting the best for me and comforting me makes me feel very good. And I take it for what it is. And I used to be very prideful. If anyone ever you know um, acted like I was in a crisis and that they were the one to help solve the crisis, I would get really upset. And I realize that's not a good way to be. But the the thought arises that the messaging about mistrusting your emotions is one of those things that is an early red flag in kind of ideological indoctrination in communities of control and in abuses of power. And when I was a kid, I was raised, and I always talk about my personal history. I was raised in a very, very strict theological setting, where I was told, these are all the things, these are all the conclusions you need to reach. And then at church, it felt like I was being told, these are the things you have to feel. You need to feel triumphant now. You need to feel shame now. And I know this was never the intention, but we have to remember that when you tell a child, or when you show a child what they are supposed to be feeling about anything, the Bible, other people, um, when you tell them what they are supposed to be feeling rather than listening to how they might actually feel, you're subtly or not so subtly telling them your feelings are just wrong. You've got the wrong feelings right now. And that's what I grew up with. And based on my personality type, it doesn't go this way for everybody. But based on my personality type, I experienced easily 35 years of feeling like I literally just did not feel the way I was supposed to feel about almost anything. And my emotions became more and more locked away. I always found I could never cry when I was with another human being. I literally couldn't cry because I had gotten so adept at putting my emotions in the background, watching other people and saying, like, what's going on right now, because they have a more honest read of their emotions than I do. They know what the feeling in this room right now is, and I need to watch them and feel that if I possibly can. And um, so I guess what came to my mind today that I wanted to share, and I promise to keep it brief, um, is that when somebody tells you not to trust your emotions, um, that is a sign that you should watch that person very closely. They're not wrong. When they say don't trust your emotions, that's not straight up wrong. And that's one of the reasons why that fucking saying just doesn't seem to ever go away. Don't trust your emotions. Don't do things based on emotion. But watch them. Watch what they do next. Watch what they try to say, because that is, if you believe them, then that's a prime time for them to now tell you what you should trust, and to tell you that if your emotions tell you not to trust this, then that's just your compromised emotions again. So like the question that came to my mind was, where does the intuition express itself? Right? Because those same people will say you got to trust your intuition. But some of those people will say you've got to base your intuition on this set of rules and constraints that really are an ideology, right? And the only way that they will become not an ideology for you is when your actual emotions correspond to what they say, and then maybe then you're just indoctrinated. So where does the intuition come out? The intuition comes out in your body and in your emotions. So yes, of course, it's not like you don't trust your emotions. Say you get really angry and your emotions just say stir shit up, kick the door down, scream at everybody. And you go, no, I shouldn't trust my emotions. But you don't trust your emotions. You trust your emotions like you trust a person. Meaning, when a person comes to you and they're behaving in a way that doesn't seem appropriate to the situation, and they're your friend, and they have some measure of trust, you ask them more questions. You find out, are you currently misguided? Are you currently have you currently lost control? And you do the same exact thing with emotions. You don't just do what they say, but you listen to them like a friend, and you say, what is your why are you doing this? And often that's a very if you ask your emotions that question, you're going to actually learn something interesting, and you will dig further into your intuition, because your intuition is not articulate. The more articulate your intuition becomes, the less it is intuition, which isn't a bad thing. It just means you're learning, right? But intuition is sometimes just like literally a churny stomach, or just a really weird feeling, or sometimes it's an emotion that is not commensurate to what's going on, or not appropriate to what's going on. And so I am a living testament to the fact that if as a child, as I was, you just learn and you just reinforce to yourself over and over that your emotions are not right. You're not feeling the right way. You lose touch with your intuition, and you lose touch with your emotions. And so as a 43-year-old man, I am at a point of celebrating when I'm overcome by real, genuine emotion, whatever that is. Earlier today I was crying, about just about motherhood and Mother's Day, because I saw a Mother's Day post, and in my mind I had I have a little celebration, because I'm like, I actually know how I feel in this moment. And so in my 40s now, I am experiencing these weird upsurgings or rushes of emotion that I never had as a younger person, when I had not literally numbed myself out, because I heard over and over not to trust my emotions, and I saw I didn't feel like I had the same emotions as the people around me, especially when it related to God and faith. And I still had confusion, but nobody else had confusion, right? So I didn't listen to my emotions. And I think that's kind of what's going on with like even the deconstruction movement within Christianity, which is a really interesting movement to me, because deconstruction is not necessarily people leaving the faith. There's a lot of overcompensation that happens in deconstruction, which I think is very understandable, very relatable. Personally, for me, my faith kind of entirely fell apart, and this was a big reason. And so now I'm picking up the pieces, and as I share of myself on Twitter largely, and on the internet, I am noticing that my emotions are coming through, and people are wanting to, comfort me and sometimes get me back to a place of settledness. And I guess I just want to end this by saying, like, I don't I don't want that settledness anymore. My settledness was false. And my emotions are real. And this is not to shame anybody who has ever comforted me or tried to help me feel better. I keep it coming, like this is good. And I want to accept these genuine comforts from people. So yeah, just a little thought about emotion, intuition, listening to our emotions, listening to our bodies. I really don't think that any good comes from a full mistrust of your emotions. They have to be integrated into a whole, because everything you bottle up, all the darkness that you don't allow out, all the sadness that you don't process, will find a way out always. And if you are fortunate like me, it can come out in a time in your life when you actually haven't ruined your life, when you still have a wife, you still have children who will talk to you, and you can process these things in a healthy way because you have a support network. If you don't have that, I really feel for you, and honestly, reach out to me, or reach out, even find just people who have proven themselves to be kind-hearted. Reach out and start processing, start working through it. All right. Bless you all. And yes, I kept this just over half of the length of the video I did yesterday. All right. Thanks. Bye.